today's a fun one. We're going to do some soloing, specifically over an 8-bar blues ragtime style progression. Now with the blues, modern music, you can just plug in a pentatonic and play a whole solo, easy peasy. But what happens with these old songs that borrow chords, change keys, and do all that funny stuff? One scale is just not going to cut it. So in today's lesson, I'm going to show you an 8-bar ragtime blues, how to solo over it, and how to use multiple scales, and really what that means. That way, no matter what the chord progression, you're going to be able to navigate with articulate, tasty, professional sounding solos. If you want a printable PDF for this lesson and all lessons, you can get them up here in the notes. This one comes with today's backing track as well. Additional links in the description, including my email if you want some one-on-one lessons. All right, grab the ukulele. Brain, ear, and attention span. When you have those 4 things, follow me on in and let's break it down. Okay, so this is a solo lesson, but I'm going to start off teaching the chords, strum pattern, and the chord progression. If you're not interested in that and you want to jump right to the solo starts at this time. Now, in the solo, the tabs look like this, and you're also going to see the chords above the tabs. So you're going to learn the progression anyways. Now, if you're a little more advanced, I would say just jump into the solo. But if you want to take the time, really get to know the progression, let's do it, especially if you plan on strumming this and playing with a friend. Okay, so let's go ahead and learn the chords. Harmony first, chords up, C, E7, A7, D minor, F, then that Hawaiian D7, it's actually really an F sharp diminished. Just lift up your index, put your ring finger down. D, 2-2-2-0, D7. And I'd prefer if you use this one instead of the Hawaiian one, because we want to try to keep that as a diminished sound. G and G7. So in terms of chords, if you are watching this lesson, you should know all those chords. 8-bar, the first 4 measures are up. C, down, up, down. E7, down, up, down. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Full measure of A7. Down, up, down, down, up, down. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. D minor. D minor, 2 beats. A7, 2 beats. Full measure of D minor. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. You can down, up, mute, 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 if so inclined. F, down, up, down, F sharp diminished, down, up, down. I love that change. C, A7, D to D7, G, G7. So here they're all just 2 beats. F, F diminished, C, A7, D, D7, G, G7. If you want to, too, you could go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and do swing the whole time through. Down, up, 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 down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So those are 3 ways to look at the rhythm. Feel free to mix them any way you want. But you want to try to keep it, A, you want to keep it swing. You want to do that. And B, you don't want to get too crazy because you want to leave space for your solo. So jam it out one time, nice and slow. That way you can play the solo with a friend. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the progression's up, first 4 measures. Normally, I would use C major pentatonic to solo over this. Now, I'm not going to teach you all 5 shapes, but shape 1, for example, you've seen O2, O2, O3, O3. 4 more shapes, right? Really, that's the backbone of soloing the major and minor pentatonics. But if we look at the chords, C, E7, A7, if this was only truly in the key of C, it would go C, E minor, A minor, A minor, D minor, A minor, D minor, D minor. So we have two chords that aren't from this key. They're coming from somewhere else, which means they're bringing notes with them that aren't in the key. The E7 is bringing a G sharp. We don't have that note. And the A7 is bringing a C sharp. We don't have that note either. Now, even if I were to opt for the C major scale instead of the C pentatonic, C major pentatonic, O2, O3, O3, C major, O2, O1, 3, O2, 3, I do have more options, but I've just added a B note and an F note. That still doesn't account for the G sharp or the C sharp. So I'm gonna have to get creative in this. So let's play through the first phrase and then let's talk about how we approached it and some options that you can use. Because the idea is not only that you're able to play the solo, but you're able to apply these ideas to more complicated chord progressions so that way you can solo really over any progression and you don't have to get too worried about it. First phrase. Okay. Triplet 2 slide 4, 2 4 3 5. Triplet 2, second beat, third fret of the A string, and here on the fifth fret, do 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 do. That's all C major pentatonic shape 2. The shape 2 is 2 4 3 5 3 5. We literally just outlined that shape. Do 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 do. Boo doo boo 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 boo. Here we go though. Fourth fret. Now this fourth fret is a G sharp note. That note is the note that makes an E7 as opposed to E minor. E minor, G, E major, G sharp. So I'm going from A to the G sharp. Then from there, G sharp, E, D. Those are 3 of the 4 notes that make an E7. So essentially, I'm just playing an E7 arpeggio over the E7 chord. Do, do, do. And that's going to work because the notes in E7 are the notes in the E7 arpeggio. That's how the arpeggio is made. So of course, those notes are going to sound good with that chord. The hard part is transitioning into that arpeggio from the scale. And one of the easiest ways to do it is with these half steps. So when I'm on A, I'm only moving 1 fret to G sharp. And that's a nice melodic way of entering that. The other way, though, is looking for notes that are both in your scale and your arpeggio, like an E is both in my scale and my arpeggio. So I could have gone as well. So those are the 2 ways you can do it. You can take these nice easy half steps. Well, those 2 of the ways to do it. Easy half steps or starting with some chord tones that are in both the scale and the arpeggio. First fret again, that up to there again. So up to there again, the first measure. Very cool. We let that D ring, and then the next chord, A7, we're on a D note, and notice C sharp, another just half step away. We're gonna play it open and hammer on, just for a little bit of flair. Open E string, which is in our chord and our scale. Open G, do, do. So after that, all the notes that we played are in the C major pentatonic scale, but they're also all in the A7. So we're overlapping the arpeggio and the scale. If you can see the arpeggios on the fretboard and the scale, you can see where they overlap. My A7 arpeggio would be O2, 1, O3, and my scale would be O2, O2, O3. So I'm just seeing where they overlap. Okay. So the first phrase, triplet 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. take a look at the next phrase. Now this one happens over the D minor and the A7. D minor, diatonic, it's in our scale, pretty easy to approach, but our D minor also has an F note in it. And if we remember our C pentatonic, C major pentatonic, O2, O2, O3, O3, is missing the B note and the F note of the C major. So really, by adding this F note, now I've played C major pentatonic, E7 arpeggio, A7 arpeggio, and a C major scale. 4 different ways to approach it. Also, the solo, I'm starting on the offbeat and then landing on there. I'm going 4 and 1. When you don't start your licks on the first beat, at least always, it adds some flavor. So it's okay to do that, but try not to do that with every phrase in the entire solo. Starting on the 1. You can, but just don't do it for every single lick. So 4 and 1, E, C major pentatonic, F, C major. Now do. When it goes to the A7, we're playing F. Now that is not in our A7, the E note is. And in fact, that's going to cause a little tension, but that's immediately resolved when we go to the E. So that's like a tension note, and we're gonna hit a tension note again on the D, which is resolved on the C. So we little tension over the A7. O2, O1, O1, O2, 1. Then the D minor comes back up. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, O2. 2, 3. That G note's not in the chord, but it's a nice semi-stable tone. 1. Back in our C major, and then 2, leaving the scale, back in the scale. We're just adding a passing tone. 2 is in the scale, O is not, so 2, 1, O. That 1 is just a fun little passing tone. So this phrase, all eighth notes, an eighth note run, pretty typical of blues and ragtime. Nice. Halfway through the solo, let's take a look at the next half. Let's play these first 4 measures nice and slow, and we're going to count them. 1 pola, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next half starts off with our F and F sharp diminished. So over the F, we're actually going to play O3, 1, O. E flat. What are we doing with that note? O3, 1, O. O3, 1, O. O3, 1, O. O3, 1, O. Well, what are we doing with that note? The reason it's in there is because F7 has an E flat. So we're implying an F7 there, O3, 1, O, by hitting that third note. O3, 1, O, because you can see O is in the F chord, 1 is in the F chord, and O is in the F chord. C, F, A, and the F chord is F, A, C, F, A, C. So this, right here, this passing note is just to make it feel like an F7. We do all that and we land on the 2 here, because that is the change, F sharp diminished. That is the note that we're feeling this change, and hitting that right on that change is really, really nice. Now again, F sharp is not in our scale. So here we're thinking a F sharp diminished arpeggio. That's all that is. 2 O 2 O. That's why literally if you make that 2 O O 2, all those notes are in this shape. You can sit the shape down and play that part of the solo. Next part of the solo. Little double stop. The harmony here is a C going to A7. If you make a C bar, or you just know your tones, E is your major third, G is your fifth. So I can play 4th fret on the C string and 3rd fret over this, no problem. Now those notes are also in the second shape of the pentatonic too. So you can think about it as just hitting chord tones in our scale. We're gonna do a triplet, 1 pola, 2 pola, 3. 1 pola, 2 pola. So we're gonna hit that 3 times and then 4 3, 3 2, 2 1, and then open C. Immediately hammering onto 1 because of the A7. E, a note of the A7, and the G, also a note of A7. We give it just a little quarter bend. Okay, now we have a D7 and a D and a G7. Now D minor is in C major. D and D7 aren't. It adds the F sharp again. Now G and G7 are both in C, so there's nothing fancy there. We just have to kind of figure out what to do with this F sharp. And we're going to approach it. We have a D major up here, 7, 6, 5, 5. This is our F sharp. And we're going to approach the D and the D7 like this. Love the way that sounds. 5 and 6, right from this chord in their 6th intervals. Then we're going to switch over to 7 and 7. So we're going to go triplet, triplet, triplet. And the triplet there is 7th fret of the C string, 7th fret of the A, and then on the triplet we slide them up to 8. Triplet, triplet, boom, to 9 and 9. 3 and 4, 3 and 4. And here, 9, 10, 9 is a D major chord. So we're just navigating from one D major shape to another D major shape. Okay, then from here, 10, 7, 7, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, I'm sorry, 7, 7, 7, 10 is a G chord. 7, 7, 10, 10 is a G5. That has our D note in it. So we're going from that D shape, and we're using the D note that's in both chords to transition to this G chord and go 10, 7, 7, jump up to the 10, that's the G note, 10, play it again, 10, and then drop it down to 7, 7, 7, 8, which is our G7 chord. So we're using the G7 to finish the solo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so let's play these 4 measures nice and slow. 1 pola 2 and 3 pola 4. 1 pola 2 pola 3 and 4 and 1 pola 2 pola 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now notice I'm not even worried about that G string because it's the G note. All 8 together nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 pola 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 pola 2 and 3 pola 4. 1 pola 2 pola 3 and 4 and 1 pola 2 pola 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 track time. 3, 4. Told you today was going to be a fun one. Thank you for rocking and rolling with us. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I had a lot of fun jamming it. I just had a lot of fun with it. I love the solo, and I love the challenging solos that make you think on your toes, the ones that you have to anticipate the chord changes, and you really can hear these cool sounds that you don't normally get to hear when you're just doing pentatonic solos. So, new ukulele Wednesday and Saturday, guitar on Monday. Thank you for jamming with us. We will catch you very soon. Stay cool. Have a lovely day. Life is good. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care.